Hey guys, I'm Nina Zeta and I'm Director of Partnerships at SidewalkerDaily.com, and today I want to talk to you about a hidden topic I don't think a lot of people talk about in our industry, and it's how not to get taken advantage by brands. Okay, so let me start from the beginning super quick to give you the backstory. I work with brands. I also have an influencer community on Instagram, so I'm kind of in both spaces. And when I say I work with brands, I actually am the one who decides in which influencers get chosen for campaigns for tourism boards, hotels, different travel brands, and I'm on the client side. So I'm here to show you and give you some like perspective on things that you should kind of be wary of, because at the end of the day, brands, they're not like living things. They're run by humans. And just like in the influencer space in every part of this world, there are good humans and there are shady humans. So you're going to want to make sure that you are staying clear of people who may not have your best interests and are just trying to squeeze you and use you and, you know, really just take advantage. So I'm going to get into some ways and some things that you should be thinking about to make sure that you're not getting taken advantage by brands. Okay, so let's jump in. Some brands, like I said, may have shady or not your best interest at heart. They're just trying to get the bottom line. They're trying to show their bosses like why this influencer opportunity was good, this, that, the other. And this isn't obviously for all. There are so many visionaries in our space that are paving the way, working with influencers and doing it the right way. And to those, thank you. But there's others that are just like really getting it wrong. They know they need influencer marketing. They're really not sure how to do it. They're almost treating influencers like spokespersons, people. Like back in the day when celebrities would like have these like crazy endorsements and they were considered, is the word spokesperson? I really don't know. I'll look it up after. But they were, they have scripts. And back in the day, it was very like, this is what you're going to say. Rule number one, if a brand is telling you exactly what to say, whether it's in a caption or a post, I don't know how I feel about that. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen a lot with like major global brands. So like, okay, here's the caption, go ahead and post. And to me, it's like these influencers, you guys, your client at the end of the day is your audience. They are like who gets you these jobs. They're who, they know you, you know them. And it makes me kind of annoyed when brands are trying to control everything. And the people on the PR team or the advertising team are not giving the influencers the creative freedom they need. There's so much that goes into the vetting process. And when I look at influencers that I work with, I look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. I research the hell out of them. And when I book people, I'm like, you know what? I have to trust them. I have to trust that they're going to make the right decision, that they are professionals. I've looked at their content they've done. And if that's not enough, then I don't know what to tell you. But the advice to you as an influencer is if a brand is trying to control you, and you know what that means, whether it's caption, content, of course they should have like a say in the content video development process. And what I mean by that is I had an example where an influencer was doing something that the tourism board was like not down with, and it was an easy fix. They just edited that one scene out of their video, and it was an amazing experience. It was so easy. We didn't tell them how to shoot the video, what to do. They just sent it to us before they published, because this was like a pretty big campaign, and they were willing to make those adjustments. So there may be instances where the brand is like, hey, do you think like you could maybe not, maybe just change this little part, but they shouldn't be telling you exactly how to do. That's one big red flag. So make sure that you keep that in mind if the brand that you're working with wants to control you. The second way that I've seen brands try to take advantage of influencers is with exclusivity. So if you're on a press trip, chances are you're going to be asked to sign a photo waiver because they're going to want the rights to reuse your image, photos of you, your photos, all that jazz. Now, I am down with brands being able to use more than what you came into the partnership offering. So let's just say they have their own photographer on set and they want to use those photos. That's a great idea. What I feel weird about is when it's like a social media campaign and then they want to use the photos or the video, you know, the photos for print campaigns, and then use the video at like big marketing conferences. I'm okay with that as long as you know that. As long as you know where your content's going and it's in your letter of agreement, cool. But that's why it's really important for you guys to always double check your letters of agreements, your waivers, to check out that exclusivity. Like, I had a press trip where the girls were posting, and in the photo waiver, I was like, we can use these photos in print. And the girls were like, no, this is a social media campaign. You can use my photos on your social media, but if you're gonna use them in print, like, who knows what they can do with them? What if they like printed an ad and ran it in like all these magazines across the world, and you just went on a press trip? I mean, there's something weird about that. So make sure you find out exactly how your photos are going to be used. And again, if it's part of the photos that are in, if you're okay with print because you're like, you know what, this is part of the agreement, the trip costs a lot, I'm down. I just want you guys to know. I want you to feel good about it and not have any surprises. Another thing you should consider about brands that it's not really even taking advantage, but when you should maybe say no, is when they're not a fit with your long-term vision. So for example, let's just say you're all about sustainability and you're really into living like, you know, a more sustainable life, a more eco-friendly life, and that's like how you feel. Those are your values, right? And then comes along a brand that does not fit that at all. That's like using maybe plastic left and right, that has no vibe, that doesn't fit your vibe. If your long-term goal, let's just say, was to be like an ambassador at the UN for like sustainable efforts, or something that, you know, you wanted to write a book on how to live a more sustainable lifestyle, but then you're partnering with like companies that don't fit that long-term goal, you may want to consider that, because it could potentially hurt you in the long run, and it's just not worth it just to say yes because it's a brand. I know it's exciting when you get those partnership opportunities. You're like, yes, I made it. I'm getting, you know, brands that are interested in me. But if the brand is like, I don't know, doesn't feel good, that's something that you may want to consider saying no to, because you have to trust your gut, and things that are on the internet stay on the internet. And it's kind of embarrassing if it's a brand that just rubs you the wrong way. Another way that I find that brands try to take advantage of influencers, I call it the one night stand theory, where they're just trying to like bang, 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 bang with 100 different people, and they're not really trying to date you or make relationships with you. And that goes for influencers too, by the way. I find that you guys a lot are like just trying to get as many brands to work with you as possible. And in the marketing world, we'll call that like acquisition versus retention. And retention is more like, okay, I'm going to work with a few brands, but I'm going to work with them a lot. If you find that brands are just kind of like hit it and quit it type of brands, they come to you, they may not be willing to pay you for the first one. They're like, oh yeah, you know, budget isn't there, but we'll keep you in mind. If you don't need, I don't know, it just feels like they're just trying to use you. Again, if you're using them and it's a brand that you're like, oh, this is a great logo for my media kit, this is a great brand to like get me where I need to be in the future. I've done things for free because they're like, yeah, everyone has. And don't let anyone tell you that they haven't, because they have, and they still are, okay? Even the biggest influencers that you know are doing lots of free things because it benefits them, because they want to. So with the money sitch, when it comes to brands taking advantage, I feel like a lot of them may just have like a hit list of bloggers and they're just going down it. And if you get the vibe that they're really not trying to build a long-term with you, they're just trying to like get you to post and be out, or include a link in your first paragraph, how many other people are they reaching out to? And does that even really make you feel special? Again, it's up to you to decide if it's a brand that you want to work with. But if not, I don't know, pull the plug. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on some signs, some warnings, some, I don't know, topics to be aware of to make sure brands and companies aren't taking advantage of you. Because remember, there are shady people everywhere, and you just have to be on the lookout and make good decisions. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you're interested in more on the brand side and like kind of how the client, things to be careful of, things to, you know, watch out for, then let me know in the comments below. I'll make more videos on this topic, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.